You know, for most entrepreneurs, $1 million business is the dream, right? But what if I told you that milestone isn't the finish line? For a lot of people, it's actually a trap. In this explainer, brought to you by AdamAiXpert, we're not just talking about growth, we're going to lay out the actual blueprint for engineering true freedom. This is all about making that crucial shift from being the operator to becoming the architect and finally building a business that gives you your life back. Let's dive in.
So let's start with this. A pretty provocative question. What if $1 million business is a trap? I mean, we're all taught to chase seven figures like it's the holy grail, but the reality? Hitting 1 or 2 million in revenue often just means you haven't really built a business. Nope, what you've built is a very demanding, super high-stress job for yourself.
And that right there, that's what we call the seven-figure trap. It's this weird, precarious place where you're successful enough to be constantly buried in work, but not quite successful enough to afford the high-level leadership team that could run things without you. You become the bottleneck for every single decision, basically walking this tightrope where the entire company depends on you showing up every day.
Okay, so how do you get out of this trap? Well, it's not by working harder. It's by aiming higher. Real freedom, real stability. You're not going to find it at $1 million. It's engineered at 10 million. And look, this isn't just about a bigger number. It's a fundamental shift in how your business operates. It is the exact point where you stop being the operator and you finally become the architect.
The math on this slide, it just reveals everything. Look at this. At 2 million in revenue, your team budget is maybe around 200 grand. That's enough for some support staff, sure, but you are still the main engine. Now look at 10 million. With over $1 million for your team budget, you can afford a real executive team, a CFO, a CMO, a COO. This isn't just a team, it's a leadership layer that runs the business for you. That is the tipping point where you create true leverage.
So here's the blueprint. We've talked about the trap, we've defined the real target, and now we're going to walk through the 3 levels of scale you need to get there. First, building the foundation, then engineering the sales engine, and finally, achieving real autonomy. All right, level 1. This is the foundation, right? The journey from 0 to your first million. But the most important thing to get here is that how you build this foundation, well, it determines your entire future. So many entrepreneurs get trapped down the road because they forget the very fundamentals that gave them their first taste of success.
You know, getting to your first million is actually deceptively simple. It really just boils down to 2 things. First, find a product people already want. Don't try to create demand out of thin air. Just serve an existing one by making a better version of something that's already selling. And second, find the right people. Develop one reliable way to get your amazing product in front of them. You master these 2 things, your foundation will be rock solid.
This quote from Matt Clark really nails the mindset shift you need for level 2. The path to real, massive scale isn't about launching a dozen different little products. It's about finding that one thing with huge potential and then just applying focused, relentless leverage. It's all about going deeper, not wider.
Now in level 2, we build the engine. This is where you go from just having a great product to having a great system. This is where you actually engineer a predictable, repeatable sales machine that's designed to take that one scalable product from 1 million all the way to 5 million and beyond. This right here is the fork in the road where most business owners get stuck. They think that to get to 5 million, they need 5 different $1 million products. And that, my friends, is the path to chaos and burnout. The architect's path is different. You find one product with $5 million potential and build one hyper-focused system around it. It's a choice between adding complexity or creating leverage.
And that focus system we're talking about, it's the sales funnel. And let's be super clear. This isn't some vague marketing buzzword. It's an engineered process, a deliberately designed journey that takes a complete stranger and turns them into a high-value customer. And it has 2 main jobs.
The first job, objective number 1, is conversion. Your system has to be persuasive enough to take a total stranger from "who are you" to "take my money" in a single visit. This isn't magic. It's just a sales page that's built on a proven psychological formula.
So, the formula kicks off with the hook and solution. First, you need a powerful headline that promises a crystal clear benefit. Then, you have to dig into their problem, really agitate it, make them feel the pain you're about to solve. Only then do you bring in your product as the perfect solution, and you detail all the features that make it work.
Next up, you've got to build proof and trust. You have to answer that little voice in their head asking, "Why should I believe you?" Start with credibility, your credentials, any press you've gotten, your personal story. Then you hit them with social proof, testimonials, reviews, case studies from people just like them who've already gotten amazing results. This is what makes it real for them. And finally, you close the deal. You present a simple, clear offer. You have to completely reverse their risk with an ironclad guarantee. Then you create a little urgency, a good, logical reason why they need to act now. And you wrap it all up with a big, obvious call to action that tells them exactly what button to click next. But hey, conversion is only half the battle. The second job of your sales engine is to maximize your average order value. And this isn't about being greedy. It's about engineering a system where that first sale pays for all your advertising costs. That way, you can acquire new customers for free and basically scale to the moon. And there are 4 main dials you can turn to make this happen. You can, of course, increase your prices. You can offer product bundles. You can add pre-purchase order bumps right at the checkout. And you can implement post-purchase one-click upsells right after they buy. Each one of these is like a little tweak that systematically juices your average order value without needing any more traffic.
And that brings us to the final level. Level 3, autonomy. This is the last climb from 5 million up to 10 million and beyond. But the strategy to get here is, well, it's pretty counterintuitive. It's not about adding more stuff. It's about radical subtraction.
The classic trap at that $5 million mark is getting overconfident. You start adding new products, new traffic channels, you just add more and more complexity. But predictable, autonomous scale, it's found in relentless simplicity. It all comes down to what we call the rule of one.
One good product. That's it. The scalable winner that got you this far. Your job is not to launch new things, it's to obsessively optimize and improve the one that already works. Second, one good sales funnel. The engine you've already built. You pour every single resource you have into tuning this one machine for maximum efficiency, not dividing your focus by building a bunch of new ones. And third, one good traffic source. You become the absolute best in your market on one platform, whether that's Facebook, Google, or YouTube, and you just feed your engine with a steady, predictable stream of customers. One product, one funnel, one traffic source. That's the blueprint for $10 million and for your freedom.
So when it all boils down, it comes to this one choice. Are you an operator or are you an architect? An operator is stuck in that 7-figure trap, just running on the hamster wheel they built for themselves. An architect designs the systems, pulls the levers, and builds something that can eventually run without them. The question isn't how hard you can work, it's about what you are building.
You know, making this happen requires that big shift from operator to architect. And for those of you who are serious about making that journey, this explainer was brought to you by AdamAiXpert. We focus on that next level of business architecture using things like AI, automation, and systems to build real leverage. To learn more, just email AdamAiXpert@gmail.com.